So, for those of you that thought She Hulk was boring, didn't add anything to the MCU, I have to question your honesty. I don't believe you watched the show. I don't think you can convince me with comments like, oh, it's just MCU, it's just a feminist agenda going on, and she's just this girl boss the whole way. And I'm like, yeah, first episode, first good bit, she was doing nothing but denying, the one person who knows exactly what she's about to have to go through. Literally denies every bit of it, being like, I'm a woman, I already know how to deal with this. And then I'm assuming everyone stopped watching the series. Because at the very end of the episode, she's proven wrong. And proven wrong again in literally every single episode, up to the very end where she realizes he was right. It wasn't verbalized, and I wish it was. But if you saw the look between Hulk and her at the very end, she accepted her life as She-Hulk and as Jennifer Walters. Now, one thing I want to cover before I go into this is, let's go over Daredevil real quick. Sorry if you liked the Netflix series. I'm glad we kept the actor. I'm scared of the idea of them wanting to keep the same backstories and fight choreographers and other elements to a show, because we have not seen Daredevil fighting properly except for in She-Hulk. Even in Echo, they messed it up. But Echo messed other stuff up, like how Kingpin forget how to do ASL between Hawkeye and Echo. It literally makes no sense. The writers did not communicate on that one. But Daredevil and She-Hulk was like, The only thing we were missing was him flinging his sticks out, looping it around something and swinging around town, popping it loose, hitting another thing, and then swinging again and doing that to get across town. I mean, if we get that, we've got damn near comic accurate. Like, I hate how the Netflix series made him devoid of any humor in his costume. Like, yeah, because like Matt Murdock really had this dual personality thing going on. Yeah, like as soon as he put the mask on, he lost all humor and couldn't be anything but like serious, dark, and boring. Like, I get it. But like, Jesus, the way they described his power and fighting in this, is like, it's amazing. He wouldn't be all like in the Netflix series go, I can't hear him. Yeah, but you can still see them with your other senses building that sonar vision. Like, come on, Netflix. Y'all screwed him up. And y'all gave us the worst, like embarrassingly sad version of Bullseye. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh no, he was really good. I'm like, really? The comic actor one never, ever questioned his evilness, his wanting to kill. I mean, they had him in the military. That was a cool thing. They got him in a contract thing and contract killing. That was kind of accurate. But the FBI? Where did that come from? Like, before Kingpin. Oh, wait, sorry. He wasn't Kingpin until halfway through season 3. He wasn't even on top the entirety of the series, which is fundamentally wrong when you're doing about him. But let's give She-Hulk credit for giving us the most accurate version of Daredevil fighting. And Hawkeye for bringing us the most accurate version of Kingpin. Like, why would you just leave out his tracksuit gang in the Netflix series? Like, you had the IP. You could have done it. Like, what? That makes no sense. Also, why are you going to make him hurt his hand hitting stone? Like, that's embarrassing. This the dude that could rip a car door off and put his hand through a brick wall to grab you. And we're going to have him hit his hand on stone and hurt it? Get stabbed by a knife? Please. This fool can brush off getting hit by a car at 60 miles per hour, lift a ton and throw it at you. And you want to say that he was accurate? No. She-Hulk and Hawkeye did these characters more justice than any of the Netflix shows. I mean, they screwed off Jessica Jones. They took away her flight. Like, how can y'all respect that? And for all the people like, oh, well, they're changing colors of characters. They're like color washing people. I ain't hear no one say that about John Bernthal. I don't want to hear it. Y'all can praise it when Netflix does it. But try and denounce Disney when they do it. Y'all lucky there ain't some big, not conspiracy, but big organization to gather all of these content channels that are literally making stuff up and lying. And if you want to understand, look at the ticket sales, look at the amount of Disney Plus subscriptions, and look at how they've dropped in response to people just trash talking the MCU. Do you know how much money these anti-fan content creators are costing Disney? If they get wise up, you do realize that that's defamation, and y'all are hitting their bottom line, and that's a lawsuit. You're a public figure as a content creator. It's best you be honest instead of lying, because there's nothing good that can come out of that. Temporarily, short term, you get more views and more clicks, but ultimately you have to go to sleep with yourself at night realizing that your entire career is made up on lies, and you risk a lawsuit from Disney. Oh yeah, and the theaters and everyone else involved with the whole process. So, now that I'm done with that one, let's go to other reasons why I'm like, there's no way you could have ever watched this show. Let's see, how many mutants got introduced? I know the guy with the sword, he's legitimately a mutant. He has the ability to transfer bioelectric energy and push it out of him and blast like through the sword. The bull guy, that's a mutant. I mean, straight up, if you ever watched X-Men, the animated series in the 90s, you've seen characters that have different deformations or mutations, like this guy. The vampire guy, I'm not sure. I mean, we do know the existence of the Daywalkers, and not all vampires in Marvel had the same weaknesses, so it's possible, but I just feel it was kind of a little call out to, like, have someone normal in the group. I didn't like what they did with the, what are they called? The construction crew. Or the Wrecking Crew, that's it. I've only seen them from the Ultimate Alliance video game on the PlayStation 2. That's the first time I come across them. And you come across them in Asgard, and it's an Asgardian problem, so I'm not so sure if that was an accurate version, but for the MCU and Asgardians coming to Earth and having magical construction equipment, that was kind of cute and an interesting way to handle it. But let's get to some of the more interesting ones. Man, we got to figure out what Wong has been doing. And not only on that, and on top of that, we get to see realms we've never seen before through those portals. We get to see the Immortal. I mean, that's just another superpowered character. We now know that there are changelings that are Asgardian. We know that the Sokovian Accords are done. Like, they're dropped. That's a previous thing that's happened in the court case there. Intelligentsia. For anybody who actually knows who this group is in the comics, y'all have got to be laughing at everybody that's going, oh, this series added nothing. Do you not know who Intelligentsia is? Do you not know who the leader is who's coming in Captain America, the new movie? It's like they were prepping for him to get Hulk blood, because in the comics, there's a line where, Ross goes to them and gets the Hulk treatment, becoming Red Hulk. So Intelligentsia, just to remind y'all, is a super group of super intelligent villains. You had MODOK, the leader, Sinister, Doctor Doom, and more. But specifically, a lot of characters that are either being currently used or will be reused in the MCU for bigger things like Doctor Doom. Hopefully we get a whole saga with him and people don't keep trying to convince Disney to go, let's just get rid of Kang and make Doom appear at the end because this famous story. And not let Doctor Doom and the Beyonder be their own thing in their own saga. Let's just give up on Kang like that. Like, I got a video coming out at some point where I'm going to go over how and the MCU should utilize Kang. And a lot of the fans obviously have no idea. They say that, like, Kang is being pedestrianized. I'm like, why? Because he lost without his suit that gives him all of his powers? Man, y'all must not watch that movie. But yeah, I have to admit that the people that watch the She-Hulk series have got to be annoyed at people that literally act like they didn't watch the movie, have no understanding of what went down in the movie, and could seemingly care less. I understand that She-Hulk was probably not the best character to make a series about. But that doesn't mean you have to lie and make shit up just because you don't like the character. He's like, oh, she was perfect and had no flaws. I think it displayed the differences between the Hulk powers of She-Hulk and regular Hulk. I think it did that really well. Considering like the clapping thing, big difference between the two. You know, one's a blast, one's a sound effect. So yeah, they're totally different. That's straight up perfectly in line with the comics. Let's not forget how this series has added more new characters, including mutants and random superhero characters, showed more factions and random connections of people interacting, as well as showed us more world building than most movies that have come out in the MCU. And you can go, well, it's got enough episodes, it should have been able to do that. But the whole first phase didn't add as much new characters outside of themselves. Like Iron Man isn't adding Iron Man. You know, Iron Man added Rhodey. So She-Hulk didn't add She-Hulk, but She-Hulk added about 7 new characters, which means that's more than the entire MCU did in Phase 1 and the first half of Phase 2. It wasn't until the second half of Phase 2 that's the actual MCU we all remember. So stop the revisionist history. Actually watch this stuff and stop watching anti-YouTubers, anti-Marvel fans. Come on. Unsubscribe from these people. Comment, don't let them know how much BS they are espousing. And also warn them, if Disney catches wind of the possibility they could sue y'all, do you really think they won't? So if you'd like to see more content like this, please be sure to follow along and be on the lookout for new shorts and long-form videos covering the anti-fan uprising, I guess. Have a nice day. Peace.